Yo, 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 what's up? It's Marlo. Welcome to Paradigm Shift. I haven't done a video in a very long time, and I just want to come back and want to start making these again. So I'm excited to do that, and I want to kind of tell you what I've been doing. And the truth is, at a certain point, I kind of felt as if I didn't want to do these videos. There was something in me and I just wasn't feeling it. And, we were still in the pandemic and I was feeling fearful. In my city, there was all these random attacks happening. There was all this racist things and attacks against Asian people. And I was just feeling down and I was feeling scared and unconscious and fearful. And I didn't have that energy in me to make these videos. I didn't feel conscious enough to make these videos. And, one thing that I did realize, or I have realized from making these and from my journey and learning, is that you have to go with the flow. Being present, being conscious means that you are dealing with whatever's happening in front of you. And it's not about the future. It's not about the past. It's what's happening right now. And people like to kind of hide the truth or hide what's happening to them and push it away and pretend it's not happening, or try to, think about something else, and they don't deal with what's happening in front of them. And sometimes it's your body just telling you you need a break, or you need more learning, or you need to regenerate, or sometimes that's what depression can be, is basically your body telling you you need a break, you need to rest, you need to relax. And it's just kind of it's a transitional period for you. And I feel that's what I was going through. And in the last couple months, I started to really have this feeling inside of, you should get back into your teachings, your podcasts, your videos, because that's just what the universe was telling me. And I guess I was becoming more conscious and getting back into it. And, there was just, it almost feels like just something kind of like guiding you, almost pushing you to do something. And I know that this is a positive avenue in my life. I know that this is a positive thing. So it was like me, like when you have to do a workout, or you're scheduled to do a workout, and you just get too lazy and you say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And then when tomorrow comes, you'll say, I'll do it the next day. And then it's a week later, and then it's a month later, and then it's 6 months and you haven't worked out because, you just kept putting it off. Or maybe you were injured, or you kind of went into this unconscious state. And that's what can happen even for people who practice being conscious, who have learned it. Anybody can kind of go into this state, and you're once you become conscious, you're never going to be fully unconscious again. You're always going to be conscious, but you can kind of revert back into parts, little unconsciousness and being unconscious for a while, but you'll always come back. And sometimes it might take 6 months, sometimes it might take a week. But you just kind of go through it. And I used to fight it a lot before. I would go through a long time of being depressed, usually around, end of fall, winter comes, no sun, always raining. You don't get out, there's no beach, there's no fun, and you're just kind of stuck at home working, and it's cold and it's dark. That's usually when it comes for most people, myself included. And I noticed that people around me feel that as well. And I've kind of learned to just go with it, just allow it to happen. And by going deeper into those feelings of being low energy, you actually get out of it quicker. Some people like to just say, be positive all the time. You can be happy 100% of the time. It's not possible. Let me tell you right now, it's not possible. People who do that are forcing a fake happiness. And I've said this before, happiness is actually, it's just an emotion. It's just a state. You can't sustain happiness all the time because it's an emotion, right? But you can sustain being present, maybe not all the time, but way longer than you could happiness. And happiness will flow out through being present. And maybe a more appropriate term is joy. Joy of being is kind of the state that we are trying to get to when you're present. And that doesn't mean being happy. It's just being in the moment. And when you're in the moment, there are times that you're going to deal with something horrible that happens, but you can still be in the moment during those times, and you may go unconscious when those things happen, right? So during the pandemic, in the real dog days of the pandemic, right in the middle, there was so much violence and just crazy things happening in my city, and I was feeling that too because I was living almost downtown near where these things were happening, and I was fearful and scared, and I was unconscious, and those feelings kind of emanated throughout everybody. And I saw so many people in this world, in my city, in my life, going through these things. And it's like a collective feeling, right? And the pandemic in itself isn't unconscious, although maybe it stems from humans being unconscious, right? From my point of view, the pandemic was like the earth saying, you guys need to chill out. Humans need to stop destroying the earth, and I'm going to throw this this virus or whatever it is, this thing to stop you a bit, to cool the earth. It's like when you get sick, right? Your body has these germs or viruses or whatever inside it, and what does your body do? It raises your body temperature, and you get a fever, and you sweat it out, you kill the germs inside. And now humans, like the earth is like the human body, and inside it are these germs, which are the humans, right? There's good germs and bad germs, and humans have become this like bad germ destroying basically, the thing that is keeping it alive, which is the earth. And we're doing that, and we're destroying the animals, and we're destroying, the coral, and disrupting the balance. And then, what is the earth going to do? It's going to say, we need to get some of these germs out of here. And that's what happened. And this is the balance being restored now. And yeah, so it took me a while to get out of that unconsciousness. And when I say unconsciousness, it's not like I was going around and just, being angry and brutal and horrible. It was just, I was kind of not feeling present a lot of the times, and not having motivation, and I gained weight, and I wasn't doing things that I enjoyed. Although I picked up writing novels, which was really fun. But ultimately, there's something about this that I started to just feel it in the last 2 months. This kind of, it's not really a voice. It's just something like pushing me or guiding me to get back to this. And I believe it's because this is what I'm meant to do. It's something that's helping people. It's something that's helping myself and helping the people around me, and hopefully helping people out there, you, the viewers, with being present with your lives. And that's the one thing, not the one thing, but that's just kind of what I've been going through, what has been happening. And, spring is coming, and now everybody's kind of getting out of their days, like coming through the fog and waking up. And I think that's what's happening to me as well. And yeah, so I'm just glad to be back, glad to be talking with you. And I really am happy and grateful that I have this opportunity to come back to it, that I am taking that step, right? Something that Eckhart Tolle says is, when you are in a situation that you don't like or that you're not enjoying, it's always better to do something to try to get out of it, to try to change that situation than to do nothing, right? For a long time, I was doing nothing. I was playing video games. I was watching TV, watching Netflix, and not taking that step. And finally, today, I took that step. Like, it was just me today being like, just do it. And then getting my light together, getting my camera set up, downloading the programs, and getting my mic set up and doing it. And now that I think about it, this path kind of started, a month ago when I had that push. It's like the universe tends to flow through you when you start to become present, or when you are present. And that is what was happening to me. I felt my presence and my consciousness kind of expanding in the last 2-3 months, or a couple months, and it led to this moment. And that's what's going to happen to you when you start being conscious more and more and more. These opportunities are going to open up to you, and they're going to present themselves to you. And it's basically just you taking that step, right? Taking that leap, and doing it. And, there's another thing that Eckhart talks about is there's 3 things you can do in any given situation, right? If there's a situation that's happening to you in your life that you don't like, let's say your work situation sucks and you're stressed and you don't like the work or the people, or you're not being treated fairly, you can walk away from the job or the situation. You can speak up about the situation to try to change it, or you can fully accept the situation. And when you realize that everything in your life, every situation in your life, those are the 3 options, you start to realize, okay, like, I can change the situations that I'm in, right? And accepting a situation doesn't mean, right, say you're walking home late night and you're being attacked by someone who's trying to rob you. Accepting the situation doesn't mean I'm just going to stand there and accept it and be attacked. It means I accept what is happening, and then by being present, you're going to react. You're going to get away. You're going to fight back. You're going to call for help. Being present doesn't just mean I'm going to sit here and let whatever happen, whatever is happening happen to me. It means you're allowing that situation to be there to happen and you're accepting it, and then you're gonna react to it. You're going to do what is best for you in that situation, and being present allows you to do that. And that's something that I think people kind of get confused about when they hear about being in the moment. They're kind of like, well, I'm not just gonna sit and do nothing and be in a yoga pose and do an om and say namaste when someone's trying to steal my wallet. You can defend yourself. But if you're unconscious, you might not even see that situation happening, right? I noticed that when I became a lot more conscious, I would kind of realize the world around me, and like maybe I would stay away from that situation instead of being on my phone, walking down the street in the middle of the night. I would go somewhere else or be alert. And people who are unconscious prey on people who are unconscious. They see that this person isn't fully there, and they're on their phone, or they're, looking at the ground, or they're thinking in their mind, and they are likely to attack that person than the person who is alert and conscious and walking with their head up and looking around. And, it's not about being fearful, but it's like a lion or an animal. They are here in the world looking around, and they will sense something happening almost before it happens. It's because they're not thinking, they are there in the world. So yeah, I mean, this has kind of been all over the place, but I just wanted to kind of get back into it. And I probably have lost my rhythm and lost my flow, but just doing this video has kind of got me back into it. And there's so many things I want to discuss, get into, and talk about. And the world has changed, and my life has changed, and my living situation has changed, and there's just so many amazing things happening, and there's so many things to be grateful for. So I'm going to leave you with one thing, and that is to really practice being grateful. And you'll start to look into your life and look at your life and realize you can be grateful for so many things. You can be grateful for being healthy. You can be grateful for having a home, having food, having money, having a job, having friends, playing sports. There's people, and I'm not to say that, if you can't play sports or you have an injury or something, that you are not going to be grateful. You can always find something to be grateful. To have gratitude is letting the universe know what to give you, essentially, right? When you're grateful for these things, the universe will start to realize the energy coming from you is a positive energy, and then give you more of that. So you got to be careful about being negative and being cynical and pessimistic about everything, because the universe takes that as if you don't want it. If you constantly talk about how much money you don't have and how poor you are and blah, 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 the universe will take that as you don't want money. You don't want whatever you're being cynical about. But if you have this positive, grateful gratitude about things in your life, the universe will give you more of that. So, yeah, that's going to be the episode. Just want to finish it off with a deep breath. Exhale. And remember, if you want to be present quickly, the best way to do it is to use your senses. What do you see? I see my voice being displayed on the application I'm using to record. What do you hear? I hear my video card fan buzzing. What do you touch? I mean, what can you touch? What can you feel? Feel this mic thing, foam. What can you taste? Nothing. What can you smell? Steak. Right? That is the quickest way to be present, is to use your senses. Anyways, we hit 20 minutes. I know it's long, but it is what it is. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to Paradigm Shift. If you have any ideas of what you want me to talk about, please comment down below. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe. Thank you. Peace.